How good will Tua Tagovailoa be for the Miami Dolphins in 2021? We got to talk about it. I want to give a special shout out to the sponsor of this video, Manscaped. So Manscaped recently just launched their Lawnmower 4.0. And listen, if you are a guy who does a lot of shaving underneath, the Lawnmower 4.0 is the perfect tool for you because listen, my first time shaving a couple of months ago went terrible. I had a bunch of scrapes, I had a bunch of bruises, and I also had patches because I didn't finish the job. So when Manscaped sent me the Lawnmower 4.0, I used it, and I was a little bit scared, okay? Because I was like, I ain't trying to give myself patches and give myself injuries like I did last time, my first time shaving. But when I used the Lawnmower 4.0, let me tell you guys something. It was a easy process. I had no scrapes, no bruises. It was no pain. Listen, if you're a guy who does a lot of shaving underneath, make sure that you guys go ahead and cop the Lawnmower 4.0 using my promo code JT for 20% off plus free shipping off your Manscaped purchase. Once again, make sure that you guys use promo code JT for 20% off your purchase plus free shipping. Your balls will thank you. It's crazy how much the NFL has changed over the last couple of years. Like, I remember there was a point in time in the NFL when you would draft your rookie quarterback and they would have at least 4 to 5 years to develop and prove to you that they had what it took to be your franchise quarterback. But now, decades later, in the year 2021, young quarterbacks only have a year to prove that they have what it takes. They don't really get a lot of time to develop. They don't really get a lot of time to learn the NFL game. It's like they get drafted and they're expected to produce and turn around the franchise like at a snap of a finger. And it seems like a lot of people don't have a lot of patience anymore. And I can understand why, because you have guys like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert who come in and show that they're top 10 quarterbacks and that they're franchise caliber quarterbacks right away. But here's what a lot of people don't understand. Everybody develops, everybody grows at a different pace. Like, if you go to work, you may have somebody who's making more money than you. That doesn't mean that you'll never ever make that amount of money. It just may take you longer to make that amount of money than it took them. You see, everybody now in the NFL is trying to rush success. Like, there were years ago when guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield will be looked at as really good quarterbacks, But now, in the current age of 2021, Baker Mayfield is considered an average quarterback, and Jimmy Garoppolo is considered a replaceable below average quarterback. That's just how talented these upcoming rising quarterbacks are. Like, the quarterback market in the NFL is just like so inflated that now teams are not okay with having an average quarterback. Teams are constantly looking to upgrade at the quarterback position. And when you have, the NFL now, the current state that it is, with all 32 teams having quarterbacks that, are all solid quarterbacks, or, would be a solid quarterback a decade ago, you have teams that are now looking to, go from an average quarterback to elite quarterback. And that's just the day and age of the current NFL that we live in. So you look at Tua Tagovailoa, I never would have thought of a rookie quarterback that threw for 1,814 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and completed 64.1% of his passes while having a 6-3 record as a starter, as a rookie, would be, in a lot of talks in the offseason to potentially be replaced, could potentially have another team draft a quarterback. Like, I think it's utter ridiculous right now. Like, all of the scrutiny that Tua has received this offseason. First, you had the Deshaun Watson trade rumors that Miami was going to try to trade for Deshaun Watson. Then, once that died down, you had a rumor that the Miami Dolphins potentially could draft another quarterback. They could draft Justin Fields. They could draft Trey Lance. Like, what happened to giving quarterbacks time to develop? Like, I understand a lot of people believe that Tua is a game manager. But how are you just going to assess Tua off of the small sample size that he had? Like, this guy started in less games than Justin Herbert. He didn't really have a full season to prove himself. Like, everybody just wants to judge Tua off the small sample size that we have instead of just giving him a full 16 game season to judge him how good he is. Like, it's crazy now how people are just so quick to pass judgment. Like, you have 3 good games and you're automatically considered a good quarterback. You have 3 bad games, you're automatically considered trash, and you have 3 average games and you're just considered average. Like, nobody gives people time to develop anymore. You look at the Miami Dolphins last year, they had a young team. You had a young quarterback in Tua. You had a young offensive line. Like, the Miami Dolphins last year were a really young team on the offensive side of the football. So when you have a young offensive line and you have a young quarterback, you're going to have struggles. Now, going into 2021, I believe that Tua is going to be way better than what he was in 2020. Give it, the offensive line is going to be more experienced. You're going to have a better wide receiver in core than what you had to work with last year. You had Will Fuller in free agency. You draft rookie wide receiver Jalen Waddle. On top of that, you have Devontae Parker. Like, the Dolphins offense is going to be really solid in 2021, this upcoming NFL season. And I believe that Tua is going to be really good as well. Now, Tua may not ever become a top 10 quarterback, which probably would be a disappointment when you look at the fact that he was drafted in the top 10. He was drafted before Justin Herbert. But just because a guy doesn't end up becoming a top 10 quarterback doesn't mean that he doesn't have to be replaced. Doesn't mean that he's not good enough to win the Super Bowl. Like, people now, for some odd reason, feel like if you're not a top 10 quarterback and you're not an elite quarterback, that you can't win games and that you have to be replaced. Like, that's not true. That's not true. Sometimes it's all about the quarterback that, you know, isn't the flashes. He may not be elite, but sometimes it's all about the quarterback that fits the system and can do what you need him to do. And I feel like that's what Tua can be. I feel like we really haven't seen Tua Tagovailoa reach his full potential. Like, it's sad to see that in the handful of games that he played in last year, that people already feel like Tua's maxed out, and people are always saying, oh, Tua doesn't have what it takes to lead the Miami Dolphins to the Super Bowl. The Miami Dolphins can't win with Tua. Like, how do you know that? He's only played in like a small sample size of games. That's like saying, okay, I think that Arby's is good because I only ate at Arby's one time. Like, you have to do something more than once to really give something a fair assessment. Just because one day a restaurant may taste good to you, one day you may go to that same restaurant 3 other times and the food might be terrible. Like, how can you just pass judgment on somebody if you don't really get a chance to see what they can do with the whole entire NFL season? That's like saying, oh, you go on one date with this broad, you think she's the one after one date, then the next 3 months end up being hell because you didn't really get a chance to see the kind of girl she really was because you just thought she was the one after one first date. Now you want to put a ring on her finger. Now you're married after 3 months and now you want a divorce. That's what happens when you pass judgment on people too quickly and you don't give people enough chance to show you who they really are. And for a lot of people out there, non-Miami Dolphins fans, so many people are just so quick to, you know, just want to go ahead and replace Tua because they don't feel like he's the guy. Like, just because Arizona replaced Josh Rosen after 1 year doesn't mean every rookie quarterback has to be replaced if they don't show a lot of promise their rookie season. Like, Arizona was a unique situation because they fired their head coach. They brought in Cliff Kingsbury. And Cliff Kingsbury didn't want Josh Rosen because Josh Rosen didn't fit his offense. So he went ahead and Arizona drafted another quarterback. But Miami has the same coaching staff. They have, you know, the same situation set in place. It really is no reason why Miami should be, you know, rushing Tua. Like, Tua is going to be a solid quarterback. He may not ever be a top 10 quarterback. He may be a top 10 quarterback, but we don't know that. So really, I'm looking forward to see how good Tua is going to be this year. I think Tua will have a really solid season for Miami. When you look at how this offensive line is going to develop, it's going to be more experienced. You have more targets to throw to in the passing game. And I believe that Brian Flores and that Miami Dolphins coaching staff, being good as they are, they're still really young. Brian Flores is still learning as he goes along. So the Dolphins coaching staff probably learned a lot from the mistakes that they made with Tua last season, taking them out in key moments of the game, like against against the Denver Broncos, against the Las Vegas Raiders, although they ended up winning that game against the Las Vegas Raiders. At what cost? We don't really know how good Tua is in, 2-minute situations. We don't know how good Tua is in crunch time. So there's still a lot of things to be decided, and the book for Tua has yet to be completely written until we get more out of Tua this year when it comes to his playing time. So I'm expecting Tua to have a really good year. I think he's going to be really solid for the Miami Dolphins, and I most definitely think that the Miami Dolphins have a good chance of making it to the playoffs this year. So let me know what you guys think about Tua Tagovailoa down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.